I'm playing Aether and Iron, and now I think I have to visit Nation's Crusade, a new island. And let's just learn those skills. Maybe I can learn 3 lines for each character.
Need something?
From what I've heard, Dreamland and Nation's Crusade aren't usually friendly neighbors.
You got that right. Rivalry's been going on ever since they set up a mission on our doorstep.
Doesn't sound like you got much rancor for them, though. Lucas shrugs, a giant unbothered by a passing fly.
They look after people, not just the ones with the deepest pockets. I respect them for that. Doesn't mean I'm ready to pack my bag. Dreamland's got its share of problems. Trading them for someone else's won't make me happier. And unlike Nation's Crusade, Dreamland doesn't judge a man for having a night out. You know where to find me.
Yes, darling?
I heard Dreamland's had its share of skirmishes with Nation's Crusade in the past. What's your take on them?
Oh, darling. We could spend an evening on it, and it would barely scratch the surface.
Humor me.
Well, if you insist. They are moralizing, teetotaling dullards. And the missionaries are always so tedious to deal with.
That bad, huh? I'll bet if I asked a Nation's Crusader, they'd give a similar assessment about you folk.
I have no doubt. After all, Dreamland is built on vice. Everything your heart desires is available to buy or sell, and moral judgment is so tacky. Needless to say, they detest us. Ta.
Hey there.
We really pulled it off. The heist, outplaying Marm, almost doesn't feel real.
I thought so too first time I worked with the Underground. The job wasn't as big as Rob and Marm Weiss, but it still felt nice, being a part of something more.
Yeah, it's one of the better jobs I've worked in a while. But I'm not one of their revolutionaries. I was just in it to get paid and get Nellie her Aether core so we can fix the well.
Whatever the reason, I'm glad we had you on board. See you soon.
Hello, Gia. Good luck out there.
Make it snappy, would you? Till next time.
You know where to find me.
Hello again. Ta. Hi, Gia. Come back soon.
Ah, Miss Randazzo.
Hear from any of your contacts back home about the Red Aether leak?
Yes, quite recently, thanks to the information you provided. However, I'm afraid their findings are worse than we could have imagined. Our lab was not the only building affected by the attack. Fire spread, wiping out a number of records. I initially thought it was from the explosion, but given the timing, it's suspect.
Dufresne and his employers could have been aiming for 2 birds and 1 stone. Stop Nellie's research and plug the leak.
It's very possible. As troubling as it is to consider, if this organization is as old and powerful as Eleanor tells me, It's little surprise they'd go this far to remain hidden.
Know much about secret societies, Professor?
I'm afraid they wouldn't be very good secret societies if I did. The few I do are mostly in passing. The Midnight Fencing League when I was a student, the Underground, which you're a part of.
But none who match the Trust's profile.
Unfortunately, I'd advise against drawing any more attention. Whatever their motives, whether for morals or profit, it's clear they'll use whatever means necessary to deal with the problem. Until next time.
Hi, Gia. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Well, well.
You do much business in Nation's Crusade?
Anywhere there is demand, I provide supply. This woman in charge there, she has created a great deal of demand. I would be foolish not to capitalize.
Demand for what?
Come now, Giovanna. Let's not be prudish. We've both given confession before. No?
Can't remember the last time.
Whatever sort of pleasures you may have shamefully admitted to in the dark of that wooden booth likely have much in common with the things I provide for Nation's Crusade.
Stealing comics off a dime store shelf? Tiana's laugh is beautiful, as much for its rarity as its plush velvet tones. Every time we chat, I learn something interesting about your past. Any new tidbits to share?
Sharing goes two ways, you know. You have information I do not. And as you say, our ledger is not balanced. You owe me.
Okay then. What do you want to know?
In this work, we are careful not to leave a trail behind us. Yes? There are always traces. Signs in the dirt. Ways you can tell business has been conducted. But there is one group who never, ever leaves traces.
You mean the Trust?
What do you know of them?
Probably less than you do. Some shadowy group of ghouls pulling the city's strings, right? The shadow falls across Tiana's face, framing her sharp features in stark contrast, like a portrait whose color has been leached off the canvas.
Stories, Giovanna, have power in them. Even in myth and legend and lies, there is truth. There are forces at play in the world we dare not imagine.
Come on. You trying to scare me?
Yes. If you learn anything more, let me know. And please be careful. See you soon.
Hey there. Drive safe.
Hello, miss.
How can I help? Let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Back so soon.
I want to buy this item next time. Okay, I'll collect some money.
Have a look.
Wait a minute.
Looking for something in particular?
Okay.
Miss Randazzo. Thank you.
Hey there. Both hands on the wheel. Yeah?
So if I equip this item, then I can apply projectile vulnerability. Then I can drop this auxiliary part. But this one can be used only against enemies behind this car. So I'll just keep using these caltrops. So let's stash this item and okay, now I have this improved repulsor, but just truck has improved repulsor already, and Crest has efficient jump repulsor, I think. Yes, efficient jumping repulsor, because Crest doesn't have any mobility skills, and GI is already equipped improved repulsors, and Sophie needs jumping repulsor anyway. And I sell this item. Let's repair my vehicles before we leave home base.
There you are.
And I buy this item next time. So let's move on. This looks like the last island.
This is my first time in Nation's Crusade, and I'm hoping it's my last. It's not the dingy, unpainted buildings or the fact that 1 out of every 3 is condemned and slated for demolition. It's not the gangs of soot-smeared children in turn-of-the-century hand-me-downs playing noisy games in the streets, or the piles of debris gathered at different street corners. It's not even the presence of the well howling in the near distance, or people going about their business as if nothing is out of the ordinary.
Gia, Benny, look at all the posters.
Nellie sweeps her hand around the block. Every standing wall, whether part of a building or not, is plastered with posters glorifying Annie and her crusade, or remnants from posters that have been torn down.
Yeah, Annie's got a lot of people behind her around these parts, but not everybody. The dissenters just clam up, at least see your face. The bucketheads, they don't like complaints.
The largest building on the block, free from posters and grime, slouches against the skyline, its dark, eye-like belfry casting shadows and judgment on the detritus surrounding it.
Our destination awaits, ladies.
For a community center, the place seems curiously sealed up. Windows are boarded shut, doors are bricked closed, spikes guard tempting ledges, and chains ward off the perimeter.
That's the mission. That's where I snapped the photo. No one's looking this way, so let's bust in pronto.
Wait, where are the guards?
Guards? Why'd they need guards? Look at the place.
Buttoned up or not with what's inside? Fat chance. There has to be something. Benny, they don't need guards. Benny follows my eyes to see a half-dozen open windows facing us and our supposed entrance. An elderly woman with a pie walks past one, sending a disappointed side-eye towards my trousers.
Oh, I see. They got surveillance. Of the busybody variety.
We need to find a more discreet entrance.
Oh, if you say so. Follow me. I know exactly the spot.
He leads me past our supposed entrance and into a recessed sewage access tunnel running alongside the mission. Down some stairs, we find a wall of bricks in the shape of an old door. Why didn't you mention this before?
I don't like the smell of this place. It's gross.
With nothing more to add to his simple explanation, he pulls out a crowbar from his backpack and smashes the loosely bricked up doorway, revealing a tunnel behind it after a few solid whacks. Where did you get that crowbar? You didn't have it at the lighthouse.
I swiped it from Cress's garage last night. Figured we'd need it. Here you go, Cress. Thanks.
Why, you little...
A sharp tingle assails my nostrils with the odor of mildew. The mission is all cracked plaster walls and battered wooden furniture, illuminated by half-melted candles held in rusted iron candelabras.
Hey, what gives? Where's the big thingamajig? I swear it was right here in this room last time. Honest.
You absolutely sure?
I swear on the grave of my grandma, this is the place.
Relax, kid, we believe you. Spread out and look for clues. It's none too clean in here and not a lot of room to hide something that big. I'll bet we can find out what they did with the thing. Several short stacks of chairs spread out unevenly against the rear wall. Hardly the most efficient way to store them, in my mind. No footprints, just a thick layer of dust with thin streaks through it, like something was dragged. No one's been here to eat in weeks, but something was here. No footprints, just a thick layer of dust with thin streaks through it, like something was dragged. No one's been here to eat in weeks, but something was here. A bulletin board is mounted on the wall. It's covered in desperate pleas for aid, going back for several months. Stale clothes house communities of dust and mold amongst well-expired cans of food and an old helmet inside the giveaway bin. Handprints around the edges indicate they've been moved recently. Neglected and left to the rigors of this unkempt hall, this organ undoubtedly played powerful music in its glory days, blasting forth with songs of praise and celebration, echoing from the walls in triumph. Wait a second. Deep cracks spread out across the wall call out like a dinner bell on an old farm. Someone tried to cover them up with plaster, but did a poor job hiding anything at all. With the chairs gone, it's plain that the wall has been patched up with plaster in a big hurry. It's practically still wet, but was hand-dried, causing the cracks to form. I've got it figured, I think. I've seen enough speakeasies to know a covered-up doorway when I see one. Come look at this patch of wall and have a listen. We close in on the plaster patch. In the silence, a low humming can be heard from behind the wall.
Hot dog! That sounds like the doohickey from my snap. Stand back, ladies. I'll make short work of it.
I take a good look at Benny rolling up his sleeves. I don't think he tops 100 pounds. I'd better step in. The kid's all determination and has a bat, but not enough mass. Whoa, settle down, Benny. We don't want our ace reporter hurt. You've got a story to write. Leave it to me. I roll my neck slowly before charging straight at the wall, putting my shoulder straight into it and coating myself in dust. This is going to take longer than I expected. By the time I'm done, there are splatters of plaster all over the floor and my coat. Not my most elegant work. The hairs on the inside of my nose stand on end. My head fills with the dull sound of roaring waves, and my breath catches at the sight of Aether, Iron, and magic.
Wowzers! I can actually feel the discharging waves in here! This is incredible!
You said it, lady.
The flares of red aether are dazzling my eyes, promising one hell of a headache in the near future. I swear I can feel my fillings vibrating in my mouth. Despite its size, I can see that this hardware has been lashed together with almost no finishing. It's not made to impress, that's for sure. A lone, somewhat shabby office desk sits in front of the amplifier, absurd in the size difference. I see a few schematics piled on top. I'm no scientist, but I know expensive goods when I see them. These whiz-bangs are rare and expensive. No way Nation's Crusade could afford them on their own. There could be something useful in that unsorted pile of schematics, but it would take some time to go through it all. The seemingly endless pile of flimsy schematics are way over my head for the most part, but I spot something in there that looks similar to Nellie's work. I nab them. Maybe Nellie can make some sense of them.
So, new invention from Nellie.
Temporarily oblivious to my existence, Nellie rushes forward, walking around the amplifier as far as she can manage, mumbling to herself for several minutes.
After my initial observations, I've come to two conclusions. First, the purpose of the amplifier. It is my belief that it is working in concert with other devices within the district to shield Nation's Crusade from the well's gravitational forces. Second, the capabilities of the amplifier. I believe it shouldn't take more than a few adjustments to repurpose it to work with Daisy.
So, we could activate the machine from Nation's Crusade and not inside the well.
Exactly.
I like the sound of that. Now we just have to make Annie play ball.
Clam up. Someone's coming.
We all stand stiller than Roman frescoes out of a book. Sure enough, voices and footsteps radiate from the front door of the mission. We need to get out of here. We burst into the front room. Someone's at the front door working the locks. I have only seconds to respond.
Okay, failed.
Nellie, scram! I grab a construction hard hat from the donation bin and move to force open a window. I'm still trying to get the window unstuck when an impressively large man steps into the room.
Hey, what are you doing? We got intruders!
Run for it! I throw the helmet at the newcomer, then turn and dive through the window, elbows up to protect my face. The rest of my crew follows me as the big man yells for help. We make it out of the mission, but there are more Nation's Crusade people flocking to the mission like ants to a picnic. They'll be looking for us now. Back on the street, a rushing river of bobbing hats ranging in colors and size pulls us into its current. Amongst the crowd, some sing, others dance, yet all wear plastered shark-toothed smiles. What gives? Where are they all headed?
Rather spooky, isn't it?
Looks to me like they're moving over to Quincy Park Terrace.
We're never getting back to the cars in this mess. I must be driving funny as I move slowly through the crowd. Something sinful in my paint job or alien in my eyes, because a kind-eyed woman reaches in and puts her hand on my shoulder.
You look new. I'm glad you're coming along. Annie has a teaching in store for today that will open your eyes.
Ah, I see. Thank you very much.
You are coming, aren't you? This really is something you shouldn't miss.
She speaks half to the crowd while her grip tightens on my arm. Wandering eyes of passers-by lend countless invisible strings to fasten me in place, keeping my foot only hovering above the accelerator.
You really shouldn't.
She and the crowd have me surrounded. I stare into those eyes and imagine what it means to be a fly trapped in a spider's web. Her grip tightens almost painfully, but then she lets go, walking off with a smile and a wave.
Hope to see you soon.
Sitting still while the rushing water of people flows around him, a ragged man begs behind a threadbare cap with barely enough change to buy a cup of joe. Excuse me, sir. Pardon me for asking, but how come you're not heading to the rally? Plenty more marks in a crowd like that. You could probably rake it in.
You're not from here, are you? Those people won't give me a thing without selling them my soul first. I'm gonna want that for later.
I see. Well, you take care. Nellie runs up, her usual brightness tarnished by a newly revealed discomfort with crowds.
Sounds like Annie's going to be at Quincy Park Terrace. We can talk to her and ask about the amplifiers. See if she'll help us.
Might be a story in it.
Okay. It's been a while since I've been to church, though. Hope the holy water doesn't burn me too badly. The streets are teeming with foot traffic as we make our way to the grand concert hall in Quincy Park Terrace. Luckily, by the time we find somewhere to park in all of the traffic, we're among the last entering the venue. The hall features several balcony levels and a sizable auditorium, accommodating tens of thousands. Every square foot of space is crammed with the faithful, packing themselves in, shoulder to shoulder with perfect strangers.
And here, we are safe. Here, we are free. God has decided that we are to live in the storm, that we may shine brightest to those who need salvation.
The faces of Annie's people are shining with perspiration, shouting their devotion until they're hoarse. I keep a tight grip on Nellie's arm so I don't lose her or Benny in the crowd.
Very young Baron here.
In the wilderness, surrounded by enemies, Moses held up an image of power upon his staff, an image of fear to the evil, but of salvation to the faithful. Nature's crusade will offer that image in the lowers.
Annie's audience is making a full-course meal of her impassioned sermon. Their eyes shine with the inner light of unshakable faith. I have to hand it to Annie. She's got the meeting out of the palm of her hand. The speech is in full swing, the audience raptly drinking in every drop of Annie's palpable charisma. It's the perfect opportunity to relieve a bystander of his wallet on the sly. The next time I bump a member of the crowd, I pretend to lose my balance. He reaches out to steady me, and I take the opportunity to grab onto his lapel to regain my balance. As I straighten his collar, my hand wanders into his pocket, transferring the contents to my own overcoat. But before I can get a hold of anything, I feel his icy grip on my wrist. Let go of me.
I bet I look like an easy mark to you. Word of advice, sister? Everyone here is from someplace else. We're not as naive as you think.
Without another word, he releases my hand and vanishes into the crowd. That wasn't my finest hour, but it could have been a lot worse. I'll count myself lucky.
You, my friends, need not worry that you are chosen. Behold the yawning vortex of pandemonium. See how those mired in sin falter, while the lambs of our crusade remain strong.
Thanks to a bunch of lashed-together Aether amplifiers running interference, that is.
Our prayers have not fallen upon deaf ears. The halls of earthly power cannot help but shake to their very foundations when confronted with our Lord.
If the Trust is behind your sudden acquisition of red Aether-powered amplifiers, I have the feeling it's the halls of power shaking you down, sister.
Some call us fools, but those blind to God will see wisdom is folly. While the well is death for some, to us it is God's gift.
I let the even, impassioned speech wash over and through me, trying to see through her words. Is she a nurturer or a fiery rabble-rouser? Deliverer or warlord? Something is going on beneath the surface, where we're not meant to look. I motion with my hands, drawing my group closer together for a conversation. Pretty words, but Annie is deliberately downplaying the danger of the well. What's her angle? Does she really think people can live so close?
I do hope Annie has plans beyond relying on the amplifiers alone. Surely if she cares for her people, she'll understand the danger the well represents.
Feeling a little of that old-time religion, Dr. Reinhardt?
Gia, she just feels different from the other Barons. I say we at least make the attempt to talk it out.
Are you kidding me? Annie is nothing but trouble with a capital T. She's hiding things from her people. Remember that doohickey we saw earlier? She's double-dealing and up to no good.
I see your point, kid, though it doesn't pay to jump to conclusions.
You asked what I thought, and that's what I gave you.
It's hard to say. For me, it could cut either way. She might mean well, but she's stirring up a viper's nest, playing with folks' hopes and fears.
Never doubt, brothers and sisters, that we of the Nation's Crusade are God's chosen people. We will persevere and triumphantly usher in a new heavenly kingdom on Earth.
Yeah. Gotta do some more digging. Find out the whys and wherefores. Good thing you've got ace reporter Benny Castellano with you.
Either way, I hope we can convince her to help us. Everything depends on us getting that amplifier.
And now, brothers and sisters, turn to your neighbor and embrace them. For there are no strangers in this barony. All are the children of God.
Nellie squeezes Benny like a rag doll. The kid blushes to the roots of his hair. I can't help but laugh, but I choke it down as someone approaches me from my blind side and hugs me tightly. Hands off, bub. Hugging is by invitation only.
Oh, I'm sorry. We end every gathering with a brotherly embrace. Are you new to the flock?
A friend told me about it. What's it to you?
I see. Your friend is a brave soul. Here, take this. Perhaps it will help you along your path.
The grabby congregant is all smiles and eager energy as they produce a pamphlet. I stuff my hands in my pockets until they withdraw their offering. I don't like their smile. Thanks, but no thanks.
I'm sorry to have disturbed you, sister. I pray you forgive my clumsiness. I only wish to spread the good word. Perhaps Annie herself can convince you. You'll find her at her home, Gethsemane.
If we have time.
And now, my friends, neighbors, brothers, and sisters, let us bow our heads in prayer.
That's our cue. We make our exit as Annie guides the crowd through the end of her service. We take a breather, then head over to the Gethsemane retreat to talk with Annie face to face. I checked the address twice before parking and walking up. It's an utterly plain brownstone stuck right between two boarding houses. Hardly the fortress or palace I expected. We walk right up to Annie's home. The door is ajar. Playing it safe, I poke my head in. Several of her armed faithful are inside. They all take note, but are not in formation or attention. One of the bucketheads walks over to us.
Welcome to Gethsemane, pilgrim.
We've come to see Annie. We've been told she'll see anyone.
Annie only sees those with the light of penitence in their hearts. Have you come to seek salvation?
This guy seems like he has his heart in the right place. I'll just explain my doubts. I'm not sure how I feel about Annie and the Word, but I need to talk to her.
If it's a crisis of faith you're experiencing, sister, then you should definitely speak with Annie. Follow me. She'll set you back upon the true path.
The garden's presence and the relative squalor of Nation's crusade is a testament to how badly Annie's followers wish to please her. The hedges are perfectly trimmed, the fountain and pond fresh and clean, the stonework well maintained. As we enter, Annie is kneeling in front of a makeshift altar. Her eyes are tightly shut as she murmurs softly. The only sight marring this idyllic scene is the ever-present well, boiling and booming in the distance. From behind the tall buildings around the brownstone, I can make out the bitter promise that is the well, a promise of oblivion, an end to futures. Though the tall buildings outside Gethsemane would normally look quite intimidating, the skyline actually does a very good job of obscuring the well. Was this spot chosen for that reason? Crafty. Beautiful flowers adorn the trimmed vines climbing up the walls of the courtyard. The bright pastel colors are as vibrant as any painting, drawing the eye away from the skyline's gloom. The picnic basket in front of the hedge is chock full of fresh fruits and cheese. Even from several feet away, the scent of the ripened bounty fills the air. In the shade of a tree located in the center of the garden, a makeshift altar has been prepared atop a stone wall circling the tree's trunk. I see Benny skulking near the rear wall of the garden, where he's examining the flowering vines. From the way he keeps looking back and forth, it looks like he's up to no good. Benny's so focused on the flowering vines that he doesn't see me coming. He leans forward, sniffing at the flowers. Steadying himself with his jacket open, his hand shakes with anticipation before making the grab. Hey, Benny. Benny whirls around, ready to protest his innocence, but I shake my head subtly and put a finger to my lips. Eyes everywhere in a place like this, Benito. You want to get away with a little light-fingered action, you've got to keep their focus off your hands.
Oh, yeah? How do I manage that?
My eyes are fixed firmly on the skyline as I raise my hand. In my palm is the yellow flower he was about to pick.
How the...
When they watch the eyes, they're not watching the hands, Benny. By the way, I think Nellie prefers red to yellow. I toss him a wink and the yellow flower to boot.
What? Is she some kind of magician?
Upon my approach, Annie finishes her prayer and rises to her feet gracefully. As she rises, an axe lying on the ground is revealed just next to her altar. She follows my eyeline and smiles, her eyes sparkling with curiosity.
Welcome, sister. Thank you so much for waiting. You must be new to the neighborhood, but I've already heard of you. You visited the mission on West 31st, am I right? You left quite a mess. But don't worry, all's forgiven. Don't be overly concerned, friends. You could have saved yourself some trouble and asked first. I would have been happy to show you around.
I apologize for any trouble we caused. I assure you, our reasons were sound.
Don't worry, friend. Speak your mind. There's nothing to hide here. Well, you've searched me out and you found me. What can I do for you?
How did you get into your position here, Annie? I noticed that picture by your altar. Was that someone important to you?
Ah, you saw the picture of my father. Before I was born, my parents founded a mission in the lowers, providing health services and free schooling to those less fortunate. I grew up in the mission myself, teaching and caring for others after their example. After they passed, I took up their cause as my own. I swore that I would provide a godly example here on Earth.
Her eye twitches involuntarily. There's something more here, but she seems agitated. I don't want to get on her bad side just now. Maybe later. I've dealt with a few barons before and been all over the lowers, but I've never seen a place like this. People have a lot of opinions about them, but love? That's a new one to me.
We had a baron once, who was more in line with what you have known. Once he tried to suppress the message, but God softened his heart, and he willingly stepped down for the good of the people.
Strange.
In other words, the Baron of this place tried to send them packing. There was a revolt, power was handed over to her, and she's got everyone convinced it was God's will. A nice arrangement. Your island butts right up against the well. Aren't you worried about the well sucking this place down like a raw oyster?
What my associate means to say is, how do you plan to deal with the well in the long term? Even amplified etheric shields will only work for so long.
By the grace of God we have endured. Surely you don't believe that the will of our Lord, who has conquered death itself, would falter against something so base as an inverted gravitic anomaly.
What?
Shh. Go on, please.
Or maybe it's some unique etheric property, localized, of course, that resists the vortex's force. I don't pretend to be an expert, but I believe Richter's theories on aether vortices touch upon such a possibility.
To my side, I see Nellie go pale. She wasn't expecting this, and neither was I. Annie is a zealot, to be sure, but also an educated zealot, using terms I barely understand. She's also lying through her teeth. To be straight with you, we've come to ask for your help. There's a lot of bad news coming down the pike, and all of it is aimed at the lowers.
Then, by all means, let's hear what you have to say. It is our purpose to serve, and when necessary, to act as a shield against the evils of the world.
With respect, we come before you in the air of humility to entreat upon you that is...
What are you talking all fancy for, lady? Spit it out already.
What is it you need, sister? Speak plainly. What is the nature of the help you require?
The well is getting bigger, and if we don't do something to close it up real fast, the entire lowers is history. And by how close you bunch are, you shouldn't have to guess who'll be gobbled up first. We've got a plan. Nellie here made a device that should put the whole thing to bed, but it needs your red aether amplifier you're using to shield.
What? How dare you?
The woman recoils like a bear stumbling across a mirror and its own reflection. Annie's face flushes. Maybe the first human response I've really seen coming from her. Now we're getting somewhere. That's right. That big machine we saw at the mission. We know what it's for, and what it does. It's doing its job for now, but...
But not for long. Miss Annie, the well is growing at an accelerated rate. You've bought your people some time, but those amplifiers won't hold. If we wish to secure their safety, you must work with us.
Besides which, playing games with people's lives ain't kosher, lady. You'd better help us out, or we'll blab to everyone what a crummy dump this is.
Oh, please.
I turn to Benny slowly, my eyes wide. Before I can say anything, Annie's scowl hardens into an animal snarl. She bares her teeth. I don't think she's ready to use that axe on us just yet, but she's getting there.
You would dare!
I flinch away in the face of Annie's fury. Nellie to my left gasps. Benny, bless him, snaps a photo out of habit. Annie's eyes are flashing with panic and rage. She grinds her teeth so hard I'm surprised I can't smell smoke.
You have no place here. Guards! Take them! Put them to the question!
Whoa, look, let's just talk about—
Come on, gang.
Come back here. Annie says you can't leave.
I think I'll put that off for a while, thanks. Nellie sits beside me silently, still mazed. I know she was hoping for the best out of Annie. She's disappointed, and I don't blame her.
If we make it through this, it's going to make for one heck of a scoop.
Sit in the back and keep your head down, kid. It's about to get dangerous. heart starts slowing back down to normal as the nation's crusade cars are left in the distance. I roll down my windows to vent the pervading smell of cordite in the air.
What do we do now? She just threw us out, without any good reason.
Let's head back to the hole. We didn't come all this way just to quit. We'll find a way.
Okay, let's run away.
The roadway ahead narrows into a toll road like nothing I've ever seen before. An entire mobile unit of bucketheads is gathered at the checkpoint, including manned squads of intercept cars and heavy battle wagons.
Holy cats! Look at all that hardware!
It would be suicide to try and blow past this checkpoint, so I stop the car. The second the brakes take hold, a shack next to the checkpoint opens, and a pastor steps out, flanked by 2 armored bucketheads.
Good day, child. Let's take a quick look, And let's not forget the toll.
What toll?
Charging a toll here is akin to extortion, but they have the heavy weapons, and I don't. I fork my money over with the reluctance of a war widow removing her wedding band.
Very good. Now let's see.
One of the bucketheads walks over to the pastor with a folded piece of paper. The pastor reads it carefully, then looks up at us squinting. I know that look. He's recognized us somehow.
Prepare yourself for the wages of sin.
Things are about to get tight if I can't think of a way out of this situation. Battle-ready vehicles surround us at every turn. We can't outrun the interceptors, or outgun the battle wagons.
Well, I'll just fight here.
The second he takes his eyes off of me, I speed draw my revolver and jam it into his ribs. He doesn't yell for help or fight like I expected. He faints. Oh, crap. The bucketheads level their rifles at me. Benny shoves me just before my windshield explodes into shards under the concentrated gunfire. Steering blindly, I stomped the accelerator, hoping to gain a little distance from the chase vehicles. We're barely away when the assembled vehicles pounce on us. It's going to take a miracle to get us out of this one.
Oh, I can change position with my... Alright. Ah, I see what happened.
By order of the Axe!
Not doing so well. Hold on, just hold on.
Leaking Aether. Engine's dying.
Okay. just recover here. Okay, that was hard. And thank you for this reward. Yes, I'm going back to the hall.
I'm on my third belt of the good stuff and just starting to feel warm when things go in all directions, as usual. And, as usual, Apollo is the one who starts it off.
We could move in on the mission disguised as supplicants, set up an ambush, and take the amplifier by force. They're complacent and slow. Well, I'll bet you yourself could take at least 5, darling.
We might get away with it in the short term, Apollo, but there are Nation Crusade missions all over the lowers. Fighting them off would be a waste of time and resources. There has to be something she wants.
Either way, we need that amplifier array. Countless people will die if we don't do something.
Nellie's right. Like it or lump it, we need those amplifiers. And it doesn't matter how we get them, only that we get them. And fast. Frankly, guys, I'm fresh out of ideas. Apollo, Sam, what do you think?
We could just take the amplifier array. Maybe we could call for additional support from Sophie's Does and Lucas Ledgman. They're good in a scrap.
I hope you're not suggesting what I think you're suggesting. We don't have anything like a standing army. Annie and her bucketheads would squash us like bugs.
Not if we made a deal with some of those gray caps for some Aether weapons of our own. That would shut them up in a hurry, I'll bet.
Wonder weapons aren't any kind of substitute for boots on the ground, Apollo. And even if they were, the Trust would gladly supply Annie with her own. Escalation isn't the answer here.
I don't think negotiation is either, old man.
What's your read on all this, Nellie?
Well, we tried talking. It didn't work, but perhaps we went about it from the wrong angle. Or the truth was too much to take in at once. Or...
Nellie, slow down. We could look at all the things that went wrong another day. What matters is what we're going to do about Annie now.
I know, I just... There really are no easy answers in the lowers, are there?
Tough and tougher choices, remember? So what's your gut say about Annie? Her eyes turn skyward, as though searching for answers in the rafters. None appear.
I wanted to work with her, but I suppose if that's not an option, if we have the means to take the amplifiers by force, we should.
You're serious?
It's an option, isn't it? The well's growing fast. If we don't get those amplifiers, it'll be too late. All my work, what happened to my colleagues, it'll all have been for nothing.
I've been thinking it over, and I have an idea of how to bring Annie to the table. Annie's strength comes from the overwhelming support of her people, but there are cracks in the foundation. We can work with that. Eliminate her support, and we eliminate Annie. Exposing her lies and half-truths will make her people turn on her, which leads me to our secret weapon. Benny, how many photos did you snap during our little trip through Nation's Crusade?
I got about 3 rolls worth. Not all of them are keepers, of course, but still, that's something like 70 snaps? 70. Hot dog.
If we expose those photographs and disseminate them effectively, the little pisher's pictures might be just what we need to show the people what's really keeping them safe.
Nice work, kid. Want a job? We can always use another set of eyes.
I'll pass. I'm a reporter, not a revolutionary. You can have the film, but then you're on your own.
I should convince Benny to stick around. He's good at sticking his nose into Annie's business, and he's better with a camera than I am. And I hate to admit it, he's growing on me. I could use a few laughs. Benny, if this thing is going to survive, we need someone to sound the horn, so that everybody gets the message. Get your stories out there, and the sky's the limit. Don't you think the people deserve a voice?
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
So what do you say, Big Mouth? Are you in?
Okay, you talked me into it. But I have conditions. I want my own room, I want 3 squares a day. Oh, and I want a box of good cigars.
I think we can manage that, kid. Now, we've got your photos. That's a good starting point. But if we're going to turn the people against Annie, we need to know where to find the proof that she's lying.
Oh boy, have I got some leads for you. Corruption, fraud, incompetence, malfeasance.
I don't suppose you've looked into Annie's love life, Benny.
Sure. The word on the street is that Annie has a secret lover. A real handsome fella with a...
No, Gia, Benny, that's the wrong type of muck. We need to get people angry, inspired. What do we have that shows Annie failing?
A movement like Annie's grows with gatherings, to spread the good word. Have you looked into her rallies and sermons? Anything we can use?
So there's this big pilgrimage thing that Annie's got. All about her. Seems there's been problems lately. Mysterious things. Attacks, money going missing. It all stinks to high heaven.
That's more like it. Anything else?
Annie might have her people in an iron grip morally, but they still need to blow off steam somehow. How do they shake a leg without any booze or gambling?
I did hear a rumor that there's this humongous dance. I've been trying to track it down. Huge party. The whole thing is a big secret since it was banned.
A dance?
Yeah. Word is, it moves from place to place so it can't be rumbled by the bucketheads. Sure would make Annie look like a sucker, right?
I'll say. It wouldn't look good for Annie to be caught slipping.
I'm impressed, Benny. You came through with some good leads.
Aw, shucks.
You see, my friends? This young man is already paying off for us. Well done, lad. But you have a lot to learn and not much time. I think one of our members should mentor young Benito here.
Good idea, old man. What do you think, Gia? Who should look after Benny in the short term?
Benny's got a lot of heart, but he needs to toughen up, add some muscle. I say we pair him up with Luca, put a little meat on his bones.
All right, I'm ready, Coach. Let me at him. I'll make with the old 1-2 and lay him out for the 10 count before they know what's coming.
Settle down, boy. You've got to learn to crawl before you can stand. You've got to stand to fight.
Oh. So, we have one more Luca. Okay, maybe that was very important decision. Sometimes Benny can be a mandatory companion in Nation's Crusade. In that time, maybe I'll drop Sophie or Crest because my Gia will ride heavy vehicles, so this choice was not good, I think. Maybe I can change this choice in my next video. Just reloading previous saves. Okay, I'll continue this game in my next video. Thank you.